Hey there, UNIWARRIORS, EnnuiGoblin here once again bringing to you the latest in UNIWAR action. Here we are continuing on with the UNIWARRIORS $1,000 solo tournament semifinals. We're going to be looking at this series between Cave and Needle, and I'm excited about this series because it gives me a chance to talk about these two players. I don't think enough has been said about them, particularly this player here, Cave. Cave has done some unbelievable things in this tournament. He's only rated right now at around, I think it's like 2,100. What's his score? Yeah, he's at 2,169. Yeah, and I know EVR's caught a lot of attention because he managed to pull an upset against Phobos, but wow. Cave has managed to come up in a KVK series in round 6 in this tournament. He managed 2 wins against Sinvol, and then in round 7 on a SVS matchup against Gout, he took 2 wins again. To take that many wins in a tournament like this against players like Invol and Gout, meaning that Cave has some very, very serious skill, and he's absolutely earned his place in this tournament. It might be easy for some players to say, well, Cave, he's rated at 2,169, so maybe he got some easy draws. No, Cave did not get easy draws in this tournament at all. He earned every piece of this. But playing on for the opportunity to play in the $500 match at the end of the tournament, he is going to have to defeat probably his hardest opponent yet, Needle. And Needle is a player who has done phenomenal in this game. He's probably the highest, in fact, he is the highest rated of the German players. He really is Germany's answer to this game. He's managed to take, he took championship in August, runner-up in May, and that May game against Phobos, where he almost took it too. It was a very close matchup. You can go watch it on the backlog in this channel if you're interested. And I see Needle as being the favorite here. Even despite Cave's phenomenal performance in this tournament, I think Needle has shown that he is capable at performing at the highest level at these end games in these tournaments. He's the kind of person where he can get to the final 16, final 8, final 4, and then he's the kind of person where even when he gets there, he can continue to finish. And I think that's what makes Needle stand out from some of the other players. And so Cave is going to have to pull out all the stops in order to pull Needle away. This map is once again going to be on Crash Landing Final. It's going to be an SvT Sapiens versus Titan matchup with Cave as the Titans and Needle as the Sapiens here. And just to reevaluate this map from the perspective of an SvT matchup, I really do think that the map is slightly favored towards the Sapien player, just by virtue of, the Marauders and the Speeders can about get to the center at typically the same pace, but I think the Marines' ability to get to the center squares quicker, just by virtue of their higher mobility, is gonna be an advantage, a pretty big advantage to the Sapien player. I guess the Titans can port their mechas out here, but this map's a little too small for porting to the center to be the best idea, because the Marauders and the Marines can get to those deactivated mechas really quickly and take them down in an instant. So this isn't really a map where ports are going to work, and because of that handicap, I think Sapes have the advantage. The one thing that is going to help, I think, in this matchup for the Titan player is the hill tile. There's a non-mirrored hill tile here which provides an extra movement layer of protection on this base position. And I think this hill tile is going to make it a little bit more difficult for the Marines to make their approach on the capture. And it really is going to force the Marauders to do the work of taking this position and holding on to it for possibly 2 more rounds instead of 1 more round. It seems like not a big deal, but it could be pretty significant in the right circumstances, so I guess we'll see how that works out. Until then, let's get this map underway. Playing on the northern side as the Red Sapiens, Germany's champion Needle. And playing on the southern side as the Blue Titans, the challenger Cave. Let's get this match started up here on round 1. Cave going to be opening up with a speeder here on round 1. Not a bad choice. Helps him get to the center the quickest. And now Needle going to be returning with a tank and a Marine. Okay, going tank first. Not a bad choice. He's going to cut that speeder off from the center pretty effectively. The speeder is not going to be able to respond to that tank just yet. It's going to need some backup, so that slows down Cave a little bit. Needle now opening up with another Marine Marauder and double Marauder, and that's going to give him a lot of center control. Cave now opening up with a plasma tank, and it's not that bad of a response. He's going to need something to keep those Marauders at bay. Needle now, though, advancing that tank pretty far down below the center, and that's going to expose Cave's line pretty bad, bringing the Marauders right behind the tank, and another Engineer popping out for Needle, and that's going to provide some very fast healing opportunities. Double Engineer for Needle here, and those Engineers could play a lot of role. I wouldn't normally say go double Engineer, but against, on a map like this, those EMPs from those Engineers could be extremely deadly. Needle now jockeying around, jockeying back his Marauders, not wanting to catch up against those double plasma tanks from that were forced from Cave as a response. And now Cave has been able to push Needle back, but that plasma cannon in the back, that plasma tank in the back, has very low speed, and it's going to take it a second to get up to the mentor. Another speeder out from Cave, though, now, and Cave looking to try and jockey his position onto the left side and keep that Marauder line from getting any access to the base. Needle now making his approach on the base, though the tank going to get a big 5-shot against that Mecha on the center. Mecha going down to the other Mariner, and then here comes the Engineer. It's got a very dangerous EMP. That EMP can shut down that plasma tank and heck. Here comes the cap from Needle now, getting a 4th shot against the Mecha, and then the second cap, and is that Mecha going to down this turn? No, it is going to a 5, and then opting for the heal from Needle instead of the final, and then the last Marine from Needle looking to make the cleanup, and the other Engineer bringing it closer to that base position, threatening a double EMP, and that's a pretty strong base catcher here on round 6. Cave now gonna try and take some swings at that Marauder. Does he have the speeders? I think he has just enough speeders to protect that base for this turn, and down goes the base cap speeder for this round, and it looks like Cave gonna be able to save his position, putting up another Mecha up on that base. Kill count actually pulling ahead for Cave, but that base is very exposed. And down comes the EMP, and both the plasma tank and the Mecha have been deactivated, and this could be very dangerous. Needle now taking more shots against these speeders, softening them up, taking big shots against the speeders and the plasma tank. Another speeder coming down for Needle, bringing the kill count up to 450. Needle getting big heals up on his Marauder. Is it going to be enough to take down this unit this turn and go for the capture? The other Marauder getting the gang up. The gang up is going to be enough, and here comes the base capture from the other unit, and what a base capture threat. Such a great maneuver from Needle with the EMP, and the other Engineer there ready to threaten an EMP against any unit that makes it past that tank. Cave now gonna try and bring these speeders. Is he gonna have enough to take that tank down right away? The plasma tank should be enough to take down the tank, but now there are no more units to stop the capture from going down, and the capture will be solidified here on round 7 with the kill count in Cave's favor. But Needle making a great exchange, only 100 credits behind for a base capture. That's no choice at all. Needle now bringing these Marauders, abusing their long-range maneuverability to get another base cap threat on the southern side. And here comes the Marauder against the speeder, getting a 5-shot on the Walker, and the Walker has not even been able to get a shot off yet, and his life has already been halved. Needle continuing to advance his line, and there's the GG. Needle taking this ground in this game in 8 rounds, and what a match. I mean, this is what I was saying about the Sapiens' ability to get up to the center. I really enjoyed this matchup. That double Engineer, I was concerned. I thought it seemed like a 50-50 shot. I couldn't tell if it was a dubious strategy or something strong, but those EMPs ended up doing such a great job of taking that round. And if we just go through our post-game analysis, I think that the round of this match, as I said, was certainly going for the double Engineers. Here on round 4, it was a difficult decision, but at the same time, this plasma cannon opens up these units as so much more valuable. I think if Needle almost certainly wouldn't have gone for this if I think Cave had gone for a more speeder-heavy investment. And I think, let's look at the events that lead up to that tank being built. Not here around 4, but this tank in the back, yeah. Once Needle was able to get this tank past the center, look at it, it's making a very threatening shot here at the back, because anything that Cave builds on this base now is going to get at least 2 to 3, anywhere between 2 and 4 damage from this tank, depending on what he builds. Then he gets 4 shots against from these Marauders. So almost certainly, it's very likely that whatever he builds, unless it's a plasma, with the exception of the plasma tank, anything else that Cave builds on this bank will get destroyed with probably the combination of this tank, both of these Marauders taking their hit, and then one of these Marauders will get the cap. And that's the last thing that Cave can afford with this base already going through an exposed position. So he forces Cave to go for the plasma tank, and this plasma tank is like an anchor on Cave's play. It's the best defensive unit, but the worst possible offensive unit for this game. And maybe if Cave hadn't gone for the plasma tank early, this wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, he could have pushed back this tank, gone a little, and then 2 turns been in the center. But with double plasma tank, it opens up these engineers to be able to outmaneuver them all day and get EMP shots. And with the EMP shots, these tanks, even with all of their superior defense, will not stand up. You go 2 rounds without being able to use your units once, and those units' value go out the window. So I think that's what really ended up allowing Needle to take this match so ably. And then if we look at the series report, I'm not going to cast the other game. Instead, I just want to take a look at the other game in this series. Needle was able to take Cave was able to take Needle over into the other game. It was extended up onto 10 rounds. And if we take I just want to take a look at the final position here. Needle was in a decent position. He finally had been getting his battery in this other game to be pushed up towards the center. He had managed to push Needle into a final defensive last stand, but this Walker is going to extend this game even a couple rounds more. And if you notice, despite Cave's superior position here, he doesn't have a base capture yet, and it's on turn 9. Needle was able to get his base capture on turn 7. And I mean, just speaking logistically, there's absolutely no way that Cave could take this game here in less rounds than the other game where he had a base capture against him on round 7. If by no other virtue than the fact that there's no base capture and there's a full health Walker here in the back that Cave can't reach, and that's going to allow him to push back this offensive front for another turn. So, and with this unit here, I mean, I think that Needle has enough of a defensive here to push it to at least like, what, round 15, round 14? Whereas in the other game, I see that game getting taken in on round 10, round 11 for sure. So with that said, that is why Cave had opted to go for the resign. He played a fantastic tournament, but so congratulations to both players. It looks like it will be Needle versus EVR 1022 for the grand $500 prize in the UNIWARRIORS $1,000 solo tournament final match. Look for it here on EnnuiGoblin Games. Until then, this is EnnuiGoblin signing off.